Hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Tuesday, August 19th. With me on the mic, I have two fabulous co hosts, I Chill and my gorgeous Moon. Hey, ladies.
What's up?
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. And just a little reminder, do not forget to hit up our email. So if you have any questions about what you've heard in the show today, if you have any tea that you would like to share, if we're talking about you, please hear from you. We would love to hear from you. And that email is auntie@auntiederek.com. Well, I think we have some hot tea to sip, so we can just go ahead and jump right in.
Well, let's sip some hot tea, honey.
Yes.
Because it's what?
Tea time.
Yes. Well, our first story, we like to start off with the latest Diddy news or Diddy adjacent news. And I have a link here from Vibe. And let me just share my screen so that way we can look at it together. And you see where it says here, Sarah Rivers says Diddy claims are very much alive after judge slashes her lawsuit. So remember, we actually talked about her filing her lawsuit not too long ago.
Mm.
And let me make sure y'all can see because I see a blank screen. Let me make sure y'all can see what I'm seeing. Give me 1 second. And just check, are y'all seeing a blank screen or do you see the
We
article?
see the article.
Okay. Good.
I'm in the black right now. Is that what you were seeing before?
Yep, the black. I see blank.
Okay.
Oh, let me try to share one more time. Stop
I
sharing.
see it.
Oh,
Sarah
you saw it?
Rivers. Yep, I
Yep.
see it now.
Okay, and I just shared my screen again. So do just a test. Do y'all still see the article on slide 3 or a blank screen?
Blank.
I went blank.
Okay. Good to know it's not just me. So let me see.
I saw it the first two times you did it, though.
Yeah, this is the same trouble I was having yesterday. Like it was showing me a blank screen, but I was like, hey, as long as y'all see it. Okay, now I
Not,
see it now.
I see it.
Me too. Yay.
Yay! Sorry, y'all, some technical difficulties, but we're all good. And as I was saying, I have this Vibe article. You see where it says Sarah Rivers says Diddy claims are very much alive after judge slashes her lawsuit. And we actually talked about her, filing her own separate lawsuit against her civil lawsuit against Diddy not too long ago. And it starts off by saying Sarah Rivers of Making the Band 2 doubled down on her allegations against Sean Diddy Combs after a judge dismissed 21 of 22 counts in the lawsuit. Rivers, who competed in the reality series as Sarah Stokes, accused her former boss of sexual assault and misconduct. Earlier this month, Judge Jed Rakoff dismissed the legal complaint she filed against the hip hop mogul without prejudice, meaning they cannot be refiled. Based on documents reviewed by Vibe, one count 15, who claimed he violated New York City's Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act, is still pending as Judge Rakoff awaits a Second Circuit ruling. The appellate court is left to decide whether the claim is time barred under New York's Adult Survivors Act, which was enacted in May of 2022 and amended state law to allow alleged victims of sexual offenses for which the statute of limitations had expired to file civil suits for 1 year from November 24th of 2022 to November 24th of 2023. They need to extend that quite as well. But anyway, and we can actually see exactly what she says because there's a video. Give me 1 second. Let me just play that here.
Today, the courts dismissed some of the claims, but not all of them. The most serious and personal claim, sexual assault, on Mr. Combs, it remains very much alive. This fight was never about headlines. It's about truth, accountability, and justice. For me and for every other survivor that has been told that they should just give up. I will not be silenced, and I will not be intimidated, and I will see this thing through. Thank you to everyone that has been standing with me. The journey continues. Oh, and don't think because y'all got all that unlimited amount of baby oil that y'all gonna slide through this. Come on. And for those that have been trying to defame me with those false stories, the truth will be.
I have to say, she looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
She looks damn good.
Very pretty lady.
Very pretty. So it says Rivers initially filed the lawsuit against Combs in March of 2025 and sought $60 million in damages for extreme emotional distress impacting nearly every aspect of the plaintiff's life and personal relationships. She's represented by attorney Ariel Mitchell, who is currently named as a defendant in Combs's $100 million defamation lawsuit. And we don't need to finish the rest of this article because it just talks about Sean Diddy Combs and his awaiting trial, and we've talked about that to death. So yeah, so that's she's doubling down. She says, I don't care what the judge says. Like he did what he did, but unfortunately she just can't take it to court any longer because most of it was dismissed with prejudice, without prejudice, excuse me.
I just don't. On what basis? Like, how do these judges just do that? Especially did, and he did he wait until after this trial was over to make that decision? I, I have questions. Like when did this ruling, come about? It's it's weird.
I agree. Let me see if that let me see.
Oh, but
Trying to
back up,
see.
back up,
Oh,
back up, right there. Oh, that's the when they can make the claim. November.
yep.
Okay. Hmm.
Maybe it's not in here on when it was dismissed. That's a good question, Chill. Was it waited? Because I know it was filed in March of this year, but I don't know when it was dismissed.
Well, the trial was in May, so I mean, I just was it dismissed before then or after the trial, or it just be interesting to know, like, how did that come about and what grounds.
The
More
grounds
about
on him being a man and upholding patriarchal. Like, let me stop. I'm
it.
kind of kidding,
Yeah,
but not really.
no, it's definitely not a joke. It's real for real.
Hmm.
These judges, just because they say judge, don't always mean that they're fair or um, have common sense or any any sense of fair play or justice. They're a judge. There are a lot of people who don't make the best decisions. I don't care who they are, how much education they supposedly have. Um, just because they're officials doesn't make them impervious to making bad decisions.
Yep, that is very true. And black people across the United States definitely can tell you that is very much true. So,
Right?
well, did anybody want to add anything about Sarah or problematic judges before we go to our next story?
Go on, go ahead with it, Sarah. Stand up for your case, and she's gonna see it through.
I agree. Get his ass, girl.
Hmm.
Well, I am happy to talk about this next story because I'm glad both you and my gorgeous moon are here. Because, of course, it's about Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez,
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
and I have an all hip hop article. So when we last talked, the reason that I'm glad y'all are here because when we last talked about the story, well, Chill, you pretty much have been saying it from the beginning, but you believe that uh, Desiree did that to her daughter Demore because she was being abused by her husband.
Mm,
It
we
actually
both believe
confirms a
that.
lot of that in this article, what y'all were speculating to be. Hmm.
Okay.
Mm,
So y'all should see here. So you see where it says Rock Nation CEO demands sanctions against daughter and husband over ruthless social media campaign. So, Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez accused her daughter and son in law of orchestrating a calculated online smear campaign in what her lawyer called a ruthless attempt to force a $10 million payout through public pressure and false claims. Perez is asking a federal judge in Miami to impose sanctions on Demore Hadley and Javon Hadley and their attorney, Hilton Napoleon, for launching a coordinated attack using fabricated evidence, social media bots, and defamatory content to damage her reputation and pressure her into settling a legal dispute. Hadley filed a lawsuit against Perez, accusing her mother of abusing the legal system in Florida to strip her freedom and damage her family life. According to the complaint, Hadley alleges Perez manipulated authorities into detaining her under both the Baker Act and Marchman Act, statutes designed for people facing mental health crises and substance abuse issues, which we talked about here before. Hadley says she spent weeks confined in psychiatric facilities, even though drug screenings came back negative. Hadley also accused her mother of targeting her personal life, alleging Perez fabricated stories of domestic violence to interfere with her marriage. In a filing yesterday, Monday, August 18th, Desiree Perez's legal team fired back, arguing, and here we go, y'all. This is kind of this bit confirms what y'all were saying to be true, allegedly. Her legal team fired back, arguing that the Hadleys abused the court system by filing documents filled with falsehoods, including claims that she was tied to a Mexican drug cartel and had planted a bug in their bedroom.
Mm.
That shit sound crazy.
According to the motion, the alleged surveillance device turned out to be a toy part.
Some Inquirer bullshit.
Uh-huh. The motion cited phone calls recorded while Javon Hadley was in jail, where he allegedly discussed using the lawsuit and media pressure to secure a financial settlement. In one call, he reportedly said, "We're going to make her settle. It's a payday."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
DeMaure
Yeah.
Hadley in interviews, she said she leaned on social media because Perez cares about her image. Despite a court issued gag order, the Hadleys allegedly continued to post content and engage with digital creators who amplified the dispute using the hashtag Justice for DeMaure. Millions of Justice for DeMaure related posts and reposts have flooded social media, propagated by bots and content creators known to be paid for negative posts and false narratives. The posts are meant to incite, harass, and encourage others online to engage in a brutal hate campaign against Ms. Perez, Desiree Perez's lawyer, Barbara A. Martinez, said. A judge ultimately ordered the Hadleys to delete their social media posts about the case. Perez said she was solely motivated by her desire to protect her daughter from a woman beater abuser, Javon Hadley. Here we go. Ms. Perez's sole motivation at all times has been to rescue Ms. Hadley from a situation in which she was being beaten, coerced, and abused by Mr. Hadley. There are recordings of at least two instances of Mr. Hadley physically assaulting Miss Hadley. The Hadley team is fully aware of what these recordings depict. It is disingenuous, but crucial to their false narratives to pretend that this evidence does not exist or claim without support that the evidence was somehow doctored and simply ignore the domestic abuse that led to the actions taken by Ms. Perez, Ms. Hadley's extended family, Martinez said. Perez is asking the court to dismiss the claims against her, order the Hadleys to delete all related online content, bar them from contacting influencers about the case, and award her legal fees. So
Mm.
there she go.
Mm.
Her sole motivation was to rescue her daughter from. So she finally just said it.
Well, I mean, come on. Who? What mother would 5150 their child for no reason?
Unless they were
Hmm.
just like
Yeah,
a depraved mother. But
and she's not that. So, I mean, it had to be a good reason. I thought.
yeah, yeah. I just, yeah, like you said, I just couldn't see a mother that is sound mind, not a the outlier. Let's not add the outlier, but a mother who cares about their child and their well being is going to do what they need to do to help move, especially if my daughter is not thinking in her right mind, is not thinking she's under the spell of this person who's the abuser. I'm going to do what I can to try and help her as best as I
Hmm.
can. Now she gonna be mad, girl. But what I am gonna do is try and help you until I can't do it no more because I brought you into this world and you don't stop being a mother when they get grown. So please.
That
Obviously,
is
she's
very true.
still with this loser.
Oh yeah, she ain't leaving him. Especially when she keep using the name Demore Hadley.
Mm.
Yeah, she ain't leaving him. But no, and I hear and trust me when I tell y'all, I get everything y'all saying, and I agree with y'all. I know just couldn't imagine being a mother and seeing my daughter in this situation, and just if I have the resources, I'm going to use them. But remember, this kind of didn't like that statement did not help her. I think it actually because remember what she was initially being sued for was using her influence to have her
Yeah,
daughter committed. And now
But then,
she's saying, "Oh well, I did it because her my sole motivation was she was being abused."
well, but that still doesn't discount that she may have been addicted to substances, even though her drug test was negative. I mean, a lot of serious drugs are eliminated quickly, and they kept her for weeks. Now, I want to hear from this doctor because this mother wasn't the only one thinking that she needed help. So I think
Mhm.
that is still on her side. And the fact that they did keep her instead of just like a 72-hour hold, she was there for weeks. Why?
Mhm.
You know, now if her mother did have her locked up for weeks and she didn't belong there, even though her reason was good, that would be, you know, kind of bad that any doctor
Mhm.
would go along with that. But
Uh-huh. Yep,
I
I agree.
just think there's more to come out. Yeah, we kind of knew why she did it, but does that mean the girl didn't have problems? I don't think it means that.
Yep. And initially, because I remember when the first response was like, "Oh, well," first they said that they didn't do it. She would never use her influence to do anything like that. Then she was saying, "Oh, well, she was there was some drug usage or something like that." I'm paraphrasing, of course, but I remember her trying to say that there was drug usage. And I want to hear more from the doctor as well, because remember the last time we did hear from him, and they accused he said that, "Hey, you're being accused of falsifying medical paperwork," and well, he said the person that's suing me don't have any legal basis to do so. So I'm like,
Yeah, that was
uh,
shady. I give you that. That was like, I need you to sound a little more like, hell no, I didn't do that. She had full, but maybe because it's HIPAA,
Right,
he can't even say that.
right.
yeah, yeah, yep,
He is
Nah,
limited.
yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe it's HIPAA. Who knows?
maybe.
I would
Shit,
hope.
I'm about tempted to send an email to Doctor Aboba's office, honey, just to see if I get a response. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do as soon as the show ends. I'm going to find his email. And I'm going to send the office an email, just the general information. I'm going to see if I can get some. I know somebody in their office got the tea. They ain't
No
gonna tell
comment.
me, but
I can tell you what they're gonna say. Thank you for your inquiry, but we cannot speak on this matter currently under litigation.
And
Yeah,
under the
right.
HIPAA laws,
right.
we cannot discuss our clients, or if you can't even say that you have the client. I don't even think you could say that. You can't even acknowledge that you have that person.
I'm gonna play dumb. I'm be like, well, what they got to do with hippos? I want to know about the moray.
Yeah, this is gonna
You
be
are so
really
silly.
nasty before it's all
Yeah.
over with. And a mother's love for her daughter, it's just a terrible situation to be in to see, and for your daughter to be doing this against you in the public media because mama cares about what people think, and her husband is gonna be a payday, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, are they that stupid they don't know jail calls are recorded and to say
No,
that the
criminals still don't know, and they think they can talk in code. Like them people don't be know what they said
Yeah, and them two
every single
specifically,
time.
the Hadleys, they are definitely. Not, I don't want to call them stupid, but they are definitely. They're kind of they're less than smart. Let's just say that because they were already given a gag order to not talk about this case, and they kept doing it on social media.
right?
Well, yeah. So they've proven that they're not the sharpest crayon in the box.
No,
Hmm.
they're not.
Well, I will continue to follow this case, honey, and update y'all with any updates. And then I will definitely let y'all update if I get a response from Dr. Boba's office when I email him after the show.
Yeah, you do that.
But do any of you have anything else to add before we go to the next story?
Nah.
All right. Well, y'all, our next story, honey, Drake is naming names, honey, in that
This little
lawsuit.
bitch. Don't get me started on his little bitch ass. Golly, if I ain't never seen one before.
Baby, he is naming names in this lawsuit. So, y'all see, I have this hot new hip hop article. You says Drake targets UMG executives directly in new lawsuit amendments. So Drake filed an amendment to his defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group on Monday, directly targeting several executives at the company, according to All Hip Hop. In doing so, he further accused them of defamation, harassment, and cited alleged deceptive business practices. Drake alleges they used covert tactics to artificially improve the success of Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us," which he says contains defamatory lyrics intended to damage his public image. On the song, Lamar famously labeled Drake's an alleged certified pedophile. In the new filing, the Toronto rapper mentions tons of executives. They include Ramon Alvarez Michael, Executive Vice President and Head of Digital Marketing at Interscope, Jordan Bell, Urban Influencer and Content Marketing at Interscope, Steve Berman, President of Marketing at Interscope, Anthony is that Boucher, Anthony Boucher, and his company Hitmaker Services Inc. Tiffany Bullock, Senior Manager of Influencer and Content Marketing at Interscope, and Jesse Collins of Rock Nation. Additionally, he names Kojo Mane Asamoah, who he finally served after over a dozen attempts earlier this month, as well as UMG's iconic CEO, Sir Lucian Grange, who we just talked about last week. From there, he also references Bill Evans, EVP of Urban Promotion at Interscope, David Isaac Freely, Jordan Gerson, CEO at Universal Music Publishing Group, John Janik, CEO of Interscope, David Kaffer, VP and Head of Music and Audiobooks at Spotify USA. Look, hey, baby, we ain't even going through half this. Andrew Cromfield, EVP of Marketing at UMG, Annie Lee, COO of Interscope, Avery Lipman, President of Republic Records, Monty Lipman, CEO of Republic Records, Fatima Mahadi, Marketing Coordinator at Interscope, Greg Morella, President of Promotion at EVP and Capital Music Group, and Nicole Wiscarco, President and Head of Urban A&R at Interscope. So he named names, honey.
Look
Um,
here.
as for As for
Oh, go.
damages, the filing states for his deceptive business practice claims, plaintiff seeks statutory and actual damages in an amount to be determined at trial based on expert opinion and analysis, plus treble damages and attorney fees and costs pursuant to Section 349 of the New York General Business Law, as well as prejudgment and post judgment interest. In other news, Drake is working on his nice studio album, Iceman, which I don't give a fuck about, so I'm not even going to read the rest of this article. But yeah,
That's
he's
everybody, huh?
that's everybody and they mama and the kitchen sink, honey. He
Look,
said
he's
throwing a
so
dog
mad.
too. Shit.
He's so mad. Look here, that man. If it was so bot related, he wouldn't be able to go on a whole damn near year tour on it. Like, boy, bye. You was so mad. You said all kind of crazy stuff to him, but oh, that one really hit it because it took off, and it was
Hmm.
organic. It was organic, and he's so mad. And if he just would have laid down and been quiet, we could have been past this a long time ago. But his bitch ass kept, he's still doing it. So, he just gonna keep looking stupid
He thought he
per
was a
usual.
lyrical equal to Kendrick. We should sue his ass for thinking that bullshit. For real.
Okay. Okay, chill. I need to whoop your ass for that.
For that,
You
right?
you doing too
Your ass
much.
down somewhere.
Now you got Meek Mill, and that was cute. And for whatever reason he didn't take on Pusha T, and that's fine. You let that slide.
Remember, because the last time he took on Pusha T, honey, his son that he tried to keep secret got exposed.
But so he
So he know better. He know who to play with.
and so well Kendrick then Molly whopped his ass and now he done run to the police. He beat
Hmm.
me up. He beat me up, y'all.
Time he get in the news with a story, they amplified not like us all over again. It's like he
Everybody
be
is
wop
using
wop
it.
wop wop, just
Did
whopping
you
your ass.
see uh the recent thing with what's his name? Gavin Newsom? They
Oh
tweeted
yeah.
out.
Hmm.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Drake. This
Uh,
is
hey,
it's
dog,
so
stop acting
organic.
like I'm young.
Like, please. Everybody in their Bible, it was worldwide. I'm sorry. It was just, it is what it is. I'm sorry. That L, it was a bad L. You got,
It was. It
your
was.
head was stomped on the curb for sure.
His little
Hmm.
replies didn't even have time to take off. 30 minutes later, the timing was like, "Here come Kendra." I'm like, "Damn, he must have had him in the vault waiting on you,
Well,
boy."
hey, the send. What? You know how when you had the emails ready in the draft, just ready. Boy,
Right.
he said, send, boom.
It was funny, and it's
People
still
were
funny.
making dances. How do you even how do you even think that that was bot related? Because if
But
nobody cared, you wouldn't even seen half the stuff we saw.
exactly. In a way, though, part of me is so glad that he's doing this because what he's going to do ultimately, I think he's going to end up coming out looking like a fool because what he's alleging, it's actually going to come to light that they've actually been doing that for his ass. They've actually been using bots and other things, other
Hmm.
campaigns and stuff to inflate
Hmm.
the success of his
His
music.
numbers. Yep.
Hmm. And I
Same thing.
can't wait. I cannot wait until it comes out because we know that there's an agenda being pushed with Drake, honey. You cannot go 5 or 10 minutes. If you listen to the radio, y'all know I listen to the radio a lot.
A
You
lot.
can't listen to the radio 10 minutes without them playing some kind of a Drake song or some song that Drake is featured in.
Yep.
Auntie, and they do it on the streaming services too. He
Hmm.
is integrated in there, and I'm like, I didn't say I wanted to hear him.
Yep. That's so true. I don't care what radio station you listening to.
So,
He coming on the radio.
And in streaming services, it is just a bombardment of him. And yes, exactly. And you're right. I can't wait for them to expose his ass because
I
that's what's
can't
gonna
wait to
happen.
see it.
Well, he's definitely taking on a juggernaut. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But you're biting the hand that feeds you, in my opinion. But you know,
Oh,
Hmm.
shoot,
because
in
he's
my
still
opinion too.
popular, whatever, he's got his audience and all of that. So it's not like it knocked him out of the box. Just like, man, take your L and move on. But mm, oh
Okay,
well.
You know that white side ain't gonna let him do that, honey.
look,
The
the
courts got to
Jew,
tell him to
the
knock it
Jew,
off.
the Jewish white side. They said we got to get our we got to get our just due. Mm-mm.
Hmm. Well, speaking of Drake, and let's talk about one of his friends with benefits, allegedly, one of his
Oh,
special friends,
Special.
academics.
Oh,
oh God. Oh God. Must we? Must we?
wrong,
Where
wrong.
is Hammock? I need you to cuss somebody out. I need something because get academic out there.
Well, the reason that we're talking about him because what he says about this Drake and UMG lawsuit, it actually kind of ties into what we're going to be talking about today. So I guess it's a good link, a good segue. Because you see, I have this hot new hip hop article that, and I just want to start off by saying, y'all know I don't believe not a single word that comes out of his fat ass mouth. But DJ Academics compares Drake and UMG battle to Colin Kaepernick and the NFL with harsh remarks, including Cap's wife, Nessa Diab, who we talked about here on the show. Well, DJ Academics offered a deep dive into Drake's ongoing legal battle with Universal Music Group during a recent live stream, framing the lawsuit as a high stakes gamble with potential career consequences. Academics drew a provocative comparison to Colin Kaepernick's NFL standoff, suggesting that Drake, like the former quarterback, could face potential isolation of if the escalates. Excuse me. According to academics, the lawsuit is less about championing artists' rights and more of a strategic move for personal gain. He argued Drake is not seeking to sever ties with Universal, but aims to pressure the label into either acknowledging fault or negotiating a settlement that maximizes financial and creative benefits. Academics compared these situations to a complicated relationship. He noted that while Drake is frustrated, he is not prepared to walk away. He wants compensation, not independence. Sharing his perspective on the lawsuit, DJ Academics explained the following. I can't speak for Drake. I've been confused a little bit by his lawsuit. We've heard a lot of things. Hey, this is a stance for artists. I don't think this is a stance for artists. I think this is a stance for Drake. He continued, I think Drake is in a unique position, maybe a place where other artists, maybe of his caliber, haven't been, and they have either acquiesced or gotten their career torn apart by the giant UMG or whoever they believe is their parent label. And Drake feels like he has a shot to kind of hold him accountable. I think he believes that there's a lot of money to be made here.
Mm.
I
Wouldn't it be
mean, he,
something if it wound up being Independence?
child, okay. The media personality emphasized the game of chicken at the heart of the lawsuit by scrutinizing Universal's promotional spendings on songs like Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" and Drake's "God Plan." The rapper risks weakening his claims. Yet, this tactic forces the labels to defend its practices, potentially exposing broader truths about industry economics. I think Drake will. I think Drake will would take a settlement and stay with University. Big X said in the clip. This is why I say it's not for artists because it's not like he's down to leave. It's like a girl going to a phone, seeing the bitches you fucking, and she's still saying, is she still saying, okay? I don't think Drake is trying to leave. Drake is trying to get paid. That's it, and this is a tactic. Will it work? Might.
Mm.
Universal, academics pointed out, is a $60 billion company capable of prolonging litigation, limiting radio play, and otherwise hampering an artist's momentum if provoked. This, he suggested, mirrors the Kaepernick scenario. Even with public support, challenging a powerful entity can result in sidelining. In making the comparison, academic states, we, a $60 billion company, buddy, we got money, we got resources, and we could got time. I'm sorry, and we got time. Boy, what kind of English you be talking anyway?
I don't know.
So you know what? As much as you are a part of what we got going on for the betterment of our industry, we're going to drag this along, stifle your career. No radio, notice, know that. And you're going to be Colin Kaepernick. You thought you were taking down the NFL, buddy? No, you're on the side of making pizza with your girl Nessa Diab. Why y'all told about Jay Z came in and stopped the kneeling? Yes, that's what it's going to be. Academic stress, the stakes extend beyond money. Should Drake push to expose industry practices rather than settle, Universal could decisively to protect its interests, regardless of his superstar status. He described the tension as a careful balance between seeking recompense and risking retaliation from a vastly more powerful organization. Big Act would open the conversation to his followers before moving on to other trending topics. Drake, Kaepernick, or his wife Nessa Diab have not responded to the media personalities' comments at this time, and they probably won't. But I will say, as much as I can't stand that funny looking fuck, he ate that one little thing. He ate that one little thing. Now he ain't have to drag Nessa into it talking about making peace with her. He ain't have to do all that. But is he lying though? We saw what the NFL, a giant, did. They
Yeah.
they literally blackballed Kaepernick when in
Yep.
trying. So I
Even
mean when
though fans want to see him come back, they no. And I think Drake is risking the same thing. Why would you
Mhm.
keep a artist in your company who's bringing all this lawsuit against you and bad press and trying to pressure you to do things that and reveal things that you don't want revealed? Why would you keep them on if you could blow them out the water? I would take the
Mhm.
latter. I mean, I'm just saying, you're not so big that you bigger than UMG. But hey, he's stuck on it. We gonna see what happens.
I just like, do y'all realize what just happened here? You know what? Fuck you, Drake. You put me in a position to have to agree with DJ Academics. You you bastard. Like, oh my God. Ugh, I feel dirty. I'm gonna go take a shower. Well, after I email Dr. Daniel Bober, I'll be taking a shower.
Hey, Marcia.
Hey, Jamaican Queen. Well, does anybody want to add anything about that funny looking fucker before we go to the next story?
Mm-mm.
Well,
No.
you all have probably heard about. I think this is a good segue because it's speaking of Colin Kaepernick. I don't know if y'all heard. recently that Spike Lee was going to be doing a documentary about him,
Yep.
but it actually got cut. So I have this TMZ article here. Sorry, make sure I share it and then share my screen.
No surprise there.
Honestly, no. Yep. And you see where it says here, Spike Lee, ESPN Kaepernick doc, not axed over NFL pressure. So what they're claiming is that the NFL didn't have nothing to do with it. However, I say somebody's lying.
Sure, Jan.
So, hello. Spike Lee's documentary on Colin Kaepernick was scrapped, but the decision had nothing to do with pressure from the NFL, ESPN's longtime business partner, sources tell TMZ Sports. The news initially broke over the weekend when the award winning filmmaker was asked about the project while walking a red carpet, saying, "It's not coming out. That's all I can tell you." Soon after, Lee and the network released a joint statement citing certain creative differences as the reason for the cutting bait. Many fans translated that to mean ESPN was pressured to kill the project by the NFL and ultimately gave in to their broadcast partners' concerns. But our sources tell us that this isn't the case, insisting the National Football League had absolutely nothing to do with the cancellation. In other words, the NFL didn't bury the show. They're claiming they did not bury Kaepernick's documentary. Of course, ESPN and the league have been in business for years. They broadcast games since the mid 80s and have been the home of Monday Night Football since 2006. Earlier this month, the NFL acquired a 10% stake in ESPN in a deal that'll see Red Zone air on the network's airwaves. As for when the decision was made, we also learned that while it just became public last weekend, it was actually decided last summer, a full year ago. The multi part series was initially announced in mid 2020. Production began in 2022, and while the project's title was never officially locked in, Lee told the Washington Post it'll tentatively be called The Saga of Colin Kaepernick. The show was going to examine Kaepernick's pro football career and his controversial protest during the national anthem over racial injustice. It's unclear if Spike will now look. I'm sorry. It's unclear if Spike will now look to make and air the production elsewhere. Kaepernick has not yet commented on the decision. Y'all better go to Tubi. Shoot, let a hundred. Tubi will pay for that documentary. So
Who's gonna be brave enough to take it on?
Tubi. I'm telling y'all, Tubi is going to be the one. So Spike Lee, if you're listening, first of all, call me for a role because you know a bitch is a master actor. So that's one. And two, I'm so serious about because you see how what Tubi just did for that show that A&E show that they Damascus that was canceled by A&E for a tax write off. Tubi is now available on Tubi and now it's gotten rave reviews and lots of hun. Tubi is where you need to go. They'd have better luck putting it on TikTok. Not, honey, not when TikTok came to Trump's concerns, honey, it had us not being able to use TikTok for a full day. No, see, Tubi don't care shit about none of that. Tubi gonna air it. So, as much as I don't really care about sports ball, I certainly would have loved to have seen this documentary though. Cause,
Well, we
cause you,
still may see it. I mean, it's not totally gone yet.
yeah. Oh, and we have a comment in the chat. Fuck Tubi. Well, no, but I understand your concerns. This is a Tubi stand, baby. Y'all can never make me hate Tubi. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about Colin Kaepernick or Spike Lee before we go to the next, or Tubi before we go to the next story? All right. Well, our next story. Let's talk about Tory Lanez. Keep trying. I mean, that is really the little engine, and emphasis on little engine that thought he could, honey. But he just needed to go ahead and sit down somewhere. And honestly, at this point, and I'm not being facetious when I say this, I think his lawyers are just like laundering his money and taking it and giving him false hope because my dude. Anyway, so y'all see I have this hot new hip hop article. And you see where it says Tory Lanez continues to challenge fairness of Megan Thee Stallion shooting trial. And I don't know why, but hey, Tory Lanez is still fighting for his convictions to be overturned in the Megan Thee Stallion shooting case. At a hearing today, and I think they meant yesterday rather. So at a hearing yesterday, his attorney Laura L. Sapiro told a group of judges that his team maintains an unwavering belief that he's innocent. She also alleged that his trial was unfair. According to her, the prosecution allegedly misinterpreted DNA evidence, which she claims is unlikely to be his. It is actually marginally more likely that another member of the African American population touched the gun over Mr. Peterson, Shapiro alleged per Billboard. If our jury had heard that Mr. Peterson maybe one in a million touched the gun, I believe that would have been enough to tip the scale and show reasonable doubt. News of the latest argument made by Lane's legal team comes just a few days after a California appeals court denied two petitions they filed. The petitions allege that his due process rights have been violated. They also allege that the valuable evidence had not been made available to defense attorneys. Allegedly, this included the gun used to shoot Meg and the bullet fragments that were found at her foot. The appeal court's ruling cited a response from prosecutors. They insisted that the gun was at the Los Angeles Police Department and that testing it for DNA yet another time would not change anything. Petitioner has failed to show that additional DNA testing would establish a claim of actual innocence, they wrote. Both parties, experts at trial, agreed that DNA testing of the magazine showed none of the petitioner's DNA was present, and as to the gun itself, the inconclusive findings could neither exclude nor include petitioner as a minor contributor to the DNA found on the gun. As we know, Tory Lanez was sentenced to 10 years in prison for his role in shooting um, Megan Thee Stallion back in 2023. Um, he'll be eligible for parole in November of 2029, but if it's not granted, he'll be behind bars in 2033. So fuck Tory Lanez and fuck everybody that supported his ugly, stupid, short Canadian ass. Fuck Tory Lanez. And you sitting there wasting these courts' time like that. We have a comment. He's delusional. He needs to find Jesus. Honey, I think finding Jesus will make him even more delusional because the gagger is, honey, the church will actually accept his ass with open arms quicker than they would Megan Thee Stallion. But that's another conversation for another time. But yeah, wasting these courts' time. And then I saw some. I forgot where I saw it, but they tried to say that. Oh, they tried to argue that it was um it was Kelsey that shot it, that her DNA may have been on the gun, but then another post came out. Well, the DNA showed that it was 90% male, so it couldn't have been Kelsey. Yeah, I don't know if that's like if that's official. So that's why I'm saying I don't remember where I saw it, but this is so stupid. Boy, just go on and eat your damn jail mush and leave us alone, honey, until 2033 when we got to deal with your ass again. Well, we probably won't even after that because that ass will probably be deported.
He want out of jail so bad, it's killing him.
Hmm.
Not gonna happen.
Well, it's not going. Hey, well, you should have thought about that, honey, before you shot at a girl, telling her to dance, bitch. Like the fuck? What you thought was gonna happen? Like anyway.
Did he think he would get away with that?
So maybe he thought he had what's it called? A diplomat immunity or something like that because he Canadian. I don't know.
He's not a diplomat.
Oh, touche. You right.
You got to be one of those.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what he thought he was so famous, or I'm not sure what he thought. And the fact that she didn't want to even press charges, um, she lied. But the doctors aren't stupid. They knew she was shot in the foot, and then it had to come out. She tried to protect this little gnome. I just, oh, Jesus. And the fact that men went up for this dude, men really are the problem. Every day it's more and more evident that men are really the problem in this world. Women have been oppressed since Jesus walked the earth, and it's never going to change. It's never going to change. Men
I
think they can
agree.
just do anything and just, oh well.
I agree, and I have to say, like, I have no like scientific evidence to prove this, but I really think there's because you see how what's happening is that so this case was already tried and has been done. Now what they're trying to do is like reintroduce new evidence for already closed trial or whatever. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, but there's like a resurgence of flat earthers. Now, stay with me because I promise I'm not reaching. Like flat earthers. So you see how what flat they're trying to like pretty much still argue to this very day in 2025 that the earth is flat when there has been science proving there has been satellite photos proving that the earth is a sphere that orbits around the sun, right? But you see how there's this resurgence of anti intellectualism and like trying to argue disproven science. Like I think there's a link, and you see how you see is most people who are doing that these days are men, well, cis hetero men. So I it's scary. Like anti intellectualism is at an all time high, and it slows down the like. I'm girl, I can go all day talking about it, but I seriously think there's like a link between there's something going on basically.
Stupidity.
Okay.
Stupid people
Yeah.
will always exist in the world. Stupid people who won't believe science, who will see the sky as blue, but no, it's not really blue because it's really yellow. I mean, stupid people. This is how we got the president that we have today.
Wake
Stupid
that up.
people. Stupid people will cause more problems in society now because we're getting more exposure to them. Before, the internet and devices and everybody's connected and you can see what stupid people are talking about. I see it all the time, especially on, the platform. Influencers telling you, oh, my sister took, 30 vitamin D tablets and, her cancer was cured when they start talking against chemo and the routine treatments we have and the different things you can do. And these people will have you dead is what'll happen. But you'll see all kinds of people, and I don't know if they're bots or real people in the thread. Big pharma, big pharma. If I see the word fucking ivermectin again, I'll scream. Do you know big pharma makes ivermectin? If ivermectin did everything that these people claim it does, it would be one of the most expensive drugs. You think the big pharma would pass up making all the millions they could make if ivermectin cured everything from cancer to toenail fungus? I mean, I'm just saying. Do you think they would pass up on that opportunity? Do you think doctors wouldn't be passing it out like candy if it worked on all these things that y'all claim it works on?
Hmm.
I mean, it just doesn't make any logical sense. But these people are not logical. I mean, really, think about it. Look how they passing out Ozempic and all these drugs that make them money. You think they would pass up on ivermectin? Like something
Hello.
they make for pennies? Get the hell out of here. They would be giving that stuff away. Oh my God, it would be so. Well, they wouldn't be giving away because it'd be more expensive, right? If it
Yep.
worked on all these different things. All these different methylene blue and all this stuff people are telling folks to take will have you dead or liver injury. It's like stupidity is, you're right, it's at an all-time high. And it is
Yeah.
just nothing you can do to persuade them, change their minds. They just stupid. And maybe that's by design because the way the education systems are,
Hmm.
they're keeping them stupid. Education isn't valued in this country. We got countries that value education more than anything else, and they don't. They out there killing seals to eat. You know what I'm saying? They don't have much at all, but they believe in education. Their kids go to school and walking, through lakes and frozen rivers, and you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yep.
it's something definitely going on in this country, the dumbing down of America. And then they're trying to introduce religion into the schools. Now, in a couple of weeks here in Texas, well, they want the Ten Commandments to be in the school displayed.
Girl.
You have to display it. You can't teach any content. I guess that's negative, like slavery and so forth. It's really it's a movement going on, and it's very ugly. It's very ugly. It's
Hmm.
like they're trying to erase the past and create they're trying to create the nation that they wanted back in the day, the white nation. They're trying to create it now in a different way. They're trying to indoctrinate us in the brain,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
that's even more dangerous than just walking around, making a Nazi sign and waving flags and shit. They're trying to
Right.
get to us at a young age in the schools, and it's really crazy. It's stupid people under the guise of evangelicism and
Hmm.
Catholicism and Christianity and all of this, religious dogma that they're trying to push now. Yeah, it's it's a
See, and
whole
that
other thing.
that's that crystal fascism I keep on talking about, honey. And it's like I need somebody to explain to it because keep in mind, y'all, I have a Baptist background. I was born and raised in the Baptist church, but I need someone to explain to me, like I'm 5, why do they need to put the Ten Commandments in the elementary school? Why does it need to be there?
Well, it doesn't. It shouldn't be. Separation of
Exactly.
church and state. It shouldn't be. Now in a private school, I guess if you do what you want, but in a public
Mm,
school, these are
right.
not things you don't teach the Bible in public school. You teach the Bible in church. And everybody at the school doesn't follow the same religion. This is a melting pot. We have children of all types of religions here.
Hmm.
Muslim, Jewish. I mean, the Ten Commandments is definitely evangelical American Bible thing. Everybody doesn't
Yep.
practice the Ten Commandments as far as teaching it in that manner. So it's what else are we going to allow? Are we going to allow the teaching of other religions? I highly doubt it.
Absolutely not.
Right, but to push this on everybody, like if you're here in the states, you got to toe this line, and that's not even the whole premise of this country. It's supposed to be, freedom, right?
Hmm.
We're turning this into countries where, women can't go to school and have to wear these things that only have eyes where they can see out of. They're trying to definitely change this into something else. This is not the land of the free anymore.
I hope one of those teachers in Texas, instead of putting the 10 commandments, they'll put Biggie Smalls' 10 crack commandments on their wall and
Mm.
then go from there. They'll probably won't have no job after that, but
Well,
they'll be protesting.
yeah, we short on teachers as it is, so it's just I don't know, Auntie, what to say about it. It's just amazing to watch it happen, and the parents have protested and so forth. They've gotten rid of a lot of principals and things like that, and the parents protest, but that hasn't stopped them. But on the last election, they had the nerve to ask for $4 billion in school bonds to fix the schools that need new ACs. Everything is so ancient, and I don't know where our tax dollars is going, but people said hell to the no. four
Mm-mm.
billion dollars? Are you crazy? We out here struggling, and now you got the nerve to sit here and ask for $4 billion. Mm-mm, mm-mm. It didn't pass by a long shot. The public was like, no way, it's not gonna happen with the takeover that happened of the schools here. So yeah, no way.
Mm-mm.
It's messed up, and I think other states are watching what's happening here, and it's gonna spread.
I agree. Because what's going to happen is that they're going to be told that they're going to, if it don't spread, if you decide to not go, then we're going to punish you. We're going to take away all your funding. We're going to, child, it's, mm-mm.
And that's how they're doing it. You're gonna toe the line. You have no choice. We're gonna fire these people, fire those people. Yeah, it got real ugly, and now they're posting the improved school scores. Because they rate the schools just like a report card, right? And we have no more F-rated schools. But who's doing that testing? Who's doing that reporting? The same agency that took over the schools.
The
Listen,
church.
I have a hard time. Like you policing yourselves. That's pretty much what it seems like. The same agency that took over the schools is the ones who putting out these reports of no more of this and no more of that. Oh, okay. Now, it sounds kinds of fishy to me, but that's just me.
Hmm. I just feel sorry for the children at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
And unfortunately, homeschooling, everybody can't do it.
I would hope not. Please don't homeschool y'all kids. Y'all are not smart enough, honey. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. Please do not. Y'all are literally stupid. What is it? 53% of Americans can't read past the sixth grade level. How are you gonna teach your kids anything when you can't read? Like, please do not. Y'all are not smart enough to homeschool your kids. I'm sorry. So if nobody told y'all that, they just probably not saying it to your face.
I've met a few. I met a few who became nurses, and I gotta admit they weren't black. They were some of the smartest nurses we had. Now,
Mm,
did that translate them into being good bedside nurses? One of them wasn't. I mean, I met like two. One was okay. The other one sucked at bedside nursing, but she was very smart. Like she could be a teacher, but she couldn't practice like actual patient care, in my opinion. She was terrible at that. But you
damn.
ask her a complicated question, man, she could spout that stuff off. So, you know, it's layers to that. But they were very smart people.
Well, yeah,
So
these people are grown. I'm talking about the people this day and age. Imagine like the millennials and my generation trying to homeschool their kids.
yeah,
Hell no.
no, it's not gonna
Hell
work.
no.
It's a daunting task for anybody.
I love my people, honey. Millennials, I love us all day. But baby, y'all are not smart enough. And then remember, No Child Left Behind was introduced when we were in high
Yeah.
school.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Now, yes, maybe the Gen Xers and stuff, I think from Gen X down, Gen X on, them maybe if like homeschooling, they would have had a chance. But honey, millennials and Gen Z,
Yeah, they barely got it themselves. So I think this is all by design. I don't know what the ultimate goal is, but yeah, dumb population is a controllable population. Is all I can say. And there's a
yep.
lot of dumb ones out here already. So they've been at it for years, years and
Well,
years.
anybody want to add anything about schooling or Tory Lane's stupid ass before we go to the next story?
He's gonna run out of appeals eventually, and he's gonna have to sit down and finish his sentence in silence, and we won't hear about him again.
Ooh, honey,
Hopefully,
from your mouth to God's ears.
hopefully.
Ooh, well, speaking of someone else I really don't care to hear from, Consequence. Are y'all familiar with him? Consequence and his big ass teeth. He
Show his
was
picture.
Kanye West's ghostwriter.
Show his picture.
So I just shared an article, and now I'm about to let me share my screen as well. So this is his picture here, and them big ass scary teeth.
Mm. Nope, don't know a thing about him.
Oh, okay, well you're not missing much. But anyway, y'all see where it says there's actually a beef, a back and forth between him and the Clips. Well, him and Pusha T rather. And you see where it says Consequence slams liar Pusha T again after exposing alleged Kanye West text. So earlier this month, Consequence called out Pusha T and Malice during an interview with DJ Drewski for Hot 97. He unveiled a series of text messages that were allegedly sent in a group chat, including them and Kanye West back in 2021, and also accusing the duo of performing hate towards the Chicago rapper. In the diss record to Drake, you still not 100% in the right with me, and even though he should have not spoke on your wife, Ye allegedly wrote, you not perfect either. The record still caused me mental harm, so that meant when you shot, you hit me and my family also. We have to protect my brain at all costs because I have the vision. It's accountability. You're not wrong, but you're not 100% right either. So, and we were actually just talking about Pusha T and that disc and when he exposed Drake's baby and everything. But anyway, in response, Pusha T allegedly apologized and claimed he didn't mean to hurt Ye with his Drake diss track, "The Story of Addison." Yeah, I agree. I'm not perfect, he allegedly began. I never learned how to turn the other cheek when disrespected. It's how I was raised. Martin Luther King wasn't respected in my house either. Hurting you or your family wasn't my intention. Protecting my family and the brand was the only mission. Sorry for any trauma caused by me. So now I'm actually not going to play this video because again I'm being really serious when I say when Consequence talk, his teeth be scaring the hell out of me, and just something there. I feel like they're going to come through the screen and bite me, and I don't want to see that. But now Consequence has doubled down. Yesterday, August 18th, he posted a clip of the interview on Twitter X, insisting that there are more alleged texts where that came from. Pusha T is a liar with no integrity, he also declared. How do you tell the world that you don't respect Ye when you apologize to him for dragging him into the Drake beef? Clearly, you stabbed that man in the back for clout. And for you slow motherfuckers in the back, Consequence continued, it don't matter how long ago the text is from, because there's more, much more. The gig and the gimmick is up, and he tagged Pusha T. A mouth can tell lies, but eyes can't. Ain't that right, Malice? I'm outside. Hashtag I work for me. Mm-mm.
Whatever.
Exactly. Anybody want to add anything before we go to the next story? Okay. Well, Eve, our next story is Eve, rapper Eve. She's talking about well, first she wrote a memoir. I don't know if y'all noticed or not. But she's talking about some things in the memoir, and this article I actually found pretty interesting about her relationship with Suge Knight. So y'all see, I have this article here from All Hip Hop, and you see where it says Eve confesses Suge Knight romance shook Interscope label ties. So Eve met Suge Knight backstage at the 2001 Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards in Santa Monica, and what followed was an unexpected dinner, a brush with label politics, and a short-lived romance that she now details in her memoir, "Who's That Girl?" The Grammy Award winning rapper writes that she was co hosting the award show with Luther Vandross, Lisa Gibbons, and Shamar Moore when she heard Knight was in the building. Oh, and I wonder how Lisa Gibbons is doing. Anyway, I knew what I had to do, she writes. She asked her security guard to bring Knight to her, a request met with hesitation. When she saw Knight backstage, she approached him herself. Hi, I've been wanting to meet you, she told him. The introduction led to dinner at Crustacean in Beverly Hills, where Knight offered to help her navigate her strained relationship with Interscope Records. At the time, Eve had released two albums through the label and was frustrated with what she calls a hostile work relationship with Dr. Dre. I was still in my little mood about Dre, even though we made a solid hit together. So having Suge, his former boss at Death Row, stumping around Interscope felt like some sweet revenge, she writes. I'm not really sure how I concocted this idea, yet here we were. Knight later visited Interscope's office on her behalf, which Eve believes led to fallout with then label head Jimmy Ovine. I feel like Jimmy, took his anger out on my third album, she writes. Despite Knight's reputation, Eve insists their connection wasn't transactional. Red plants, red furs, he's a blood. Maybe my red hair was a green flag for him too, she writes, describing the courtship. But the relationship didn't last. Rough Rider founders Dee and Wadeen, who mentored Eve, were not on board. They didn't like the idea of me hanging with Suge at all, she writes. When my guys said it was time to cut the cord, I didn't think twice. When she called Knight to end things, his response surprised her. If I was your little sis, I would have told you the same thing. Knight Knight, once a dominant force in West Coast hip hop as the co-founder of Death Row Records, is currently serving a 28-year prison sentence after pleading no contest to voluntary manslaughter in 2018. He was convicted for the 2015 hit and run death of Terry Carter outside a Compton burger stand. Who's That Girl was released via Hanover Square Press. Yeah, that's interesting. So hey, look, I, Use your connections, girl. That's how you do it. If I was fucking Suge Knight at the moment and I knew I had and Dr. Dre was giving me a hard time, guess what I would do? Go in my office and talk to him for a little bit. See what you can, maybe ruffle some feathers a little bit. So that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything else to about Eve or Suge Knight before we go to the next story? Okay, y'all, this next story. So, do y'all remember not too long ago, we talked about an actress who was suing Kevin Costner because he was the director of a movie and she's alleging that she was raped while filming that movie during a love scene?
Mm.
Well, I don't know if you were here that day, maybe not, but I can't remember exactly when. But Kevin is actually he wants this lawsuit dismissed, of course. And y'all see I have here this article from TMZ. Let me share it here. And you see where it says Kevin Costner demands dismissal of Horizon sexual harassment suit. This is a shakedown, judge, he says. So this is the actress here. Kevin Costner is demanding a judge toss a sexual harassment lawsuit filed against him by a stunt performer who claims she was forced to participate in an unscripted and unscheduled rape scene on the set of the set of Western film series Horizon. According to new court docs, Costner says Devin Labella was happy as a clam during the film shoot he directed, and she even sent a text to a supervisor that she had a great time after the whole thing wrapped. Per the docs, Labella tested, "Thank you for these wonderful weeks. I so appreciate you. I learned so much, and thank you again. I'm really happy it worked out the way it did, too. Have a great rest of the shoot, and yes, talk soon." Costner and his cast and crew filed a bunch of declarations refuting Labella's narrative, with Kevin's Pitbull lawyers, Marty Singer and T. Wayne Harmon, adding, "There was no anger or resentment, only enthusiasm and gratitude at the end of filming. So what changed?" According to Costner's declaration, everything was on the up and up, so nothing should have been changed. Or excuse me, so nothing should have changed. Here's Kevin's version of the events. On the day in question, LaBella, the stunt double for actress Ella Hunt, was shooting a scene with actor Roger Ivans in a covered wagon. The two were lying next to each other, and LaBella was fully clothed in an ankle length dress with bike shorts underneath. Ivans raised the hem of her dress and swung his leg over her body, ending up on all fours above her. But that's it. There was no nudity, rape, simulated sex, or physical contact between Labella and Ivans. Costner goes on to say while Labella's dress may have gotten bunched up at her knees, the gown was always below her waist, and the pantaloons and petticoats underneath remained undisturbed. Bottom line, Kevin insists there was no violent rape scene on his set, period. In his declaration, Kevin also calls Labella's accusations absolutely false, and he found it to be deeply disappointing that someone who worked on the production would try to embarrass him and attempt to damage his reputation. Mm-mm.
That's weird.
Very weird. See, I don't know. I'm usually on the side of, and this case is no different. I'm usually on the side of believing the victims, because I don't. Even if she did say like, "Oh, I had such a great time," so I mean, like, yeah, that was a work relationship, but she told that to the supervisors, like, not you. And I don't know. It's this is crazy.
Well, I mean, that scene doesn't. He said there was no simulated sex, just like a lead up to sex, showing you that that's maybe what they did, but it wasn't an actual sex scene. So it's kind of hard to understand how that would be perceived as rape. But she was there and I wasn't. So
Right. Yeah. So we'll see what comes on about this. I don't think it'll be dismissed, that's for sure. But we'll see. Well, did anybody want to add anything about Kevin or Devin Labella before we go to the next story? Okay. Well, this next story, we won't spend too much time on it, but it's just kind of like a continued conversation of when I talked about that girl yesterday, Gal Gadot, and how she made claims that people in Hollywood are forced to be anti-Semitic, or they're forced to say bad things about Israel and all that other bullshit she was claiming. Well, this article I have actually confirms that just a little bit of confirmation that this is not true, like whatsoever, and we know who's in power for real. So I have this link from Entertainment Weekly, and before I start reading the article, are you all fans of the Scream series? You know, the movie Scream.
Mm-mm.
I like the first one. It was cool.
Yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of every last one of them. If, well, even the fifth one was the worst, and I still enjoyed it. But so I brought up the fifth Scream is because one of the characters is actually talking, about her co-stars being kicked off of that off of Scream 7. So Jasmine Savoy Brown reflects on Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega's Scream 7 exit. It was really sad and stressful to her. So this is Jasmine right here, the black girl, and who plays her brother is y'all know him, that's Mason Good, and who happens to be Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son.
Oh,
But they
okay.
both appeared in Scream 5. Both of their characters were introduced in Scream 5. So anyway, a member of the Core Four addressed the departures of Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega from Scream 7 in an interview published in a new book. Your favorite scary movie, How the Scream Films Rewrote the Rules of Horror, authored by Ashley Cullins of The Ankler, tells the story of the Scream franchise, including what happened with Scream 7. Among various interviews on the subject, Cullen spoke with Jasmine Savoy Brown, who plays Mindy Meeks, the daughter of Martha, who was played by Heather Matarazzo, and the niece of Randy, who was played by Jamie Kennedy. The character is a member of the Core Four, a new generation of Ghostface survivors who featured prominently in Scream from 2022 and Scream 6 in 2023, along with Barrera as Sam Carpenter, Ortega as Sam's sister, Tara and Mason Gooding as Mindy's brother, Chad Meeks. Both Brown and Gooding are reprising their roles for Scream 7, but not the other two. Barrera was fired from the sequel after social media posts criticizing Israel actions in the war with Hamas were deemed anti-Semitic by production company Spyglass. Barrera adamantly maintains that she is not anti-Semitic. Ortega's exit was revealed in the days after her co-star's departure. At the time, it was reported that her commitments on Netflix's Wednesday series already prevented her from a Screen 7 comeback. She has since stated the Melissa stuff was happening and it was all kind of falling apart. If Scream 7 wasn't going to be with that team of directors and those people I fell in love with, then it didn't seem like the right move for me in my career at the time. Brown now comments on the situation, telling Colors in the book, it's been really sad and stressful, referring to the past year. Often, actors are expected to know as much about politics as politicians. And in today's day and age, when everything is online, everyone thinks they're an expert in everything, which isn't the case, she said. I also think there's a clear difference between talking politics and standing up for people who don't have a voice. It's not politics, it's human life. Brown went on to say that she hopes the Core Four can reunite at some point in the future's franchises. I can't imagine making this movie without Melissa and Jenna. The actress known for Yellow Jackets continued. It won't be the same. On the flip side, I do care about this character so much, and I care so much about the people that care about her. I hope that someday, even if it's 20 years from now, the core four can get back together on screen. So yeah. So remember, like again, when Gal Gadot said that people in Hollywood are just threatened to say negative things about Israel or the IDF, and you have this girl who was a really big part of the Scream series, who her character was like the main character in Scream 5 and Scream 6. Both her and Jenna, and then because she tweeted support for the Palestinian people, y'all fired her. Please get off my line and stop acting like like Israel is under attack. Like
I'm
I
sorry. You don't want me to get on that. Let me not. Because
okay.
if I really say what I really gonna say, they really would call me a. I'm sorry, but those people believe they're above reproach, and I don't believe that to be true. I was like,
Mhm.
black people went through slavery, but guess what? We get demonized and criticized all times. Anybody can speak about us at any time, but we can't talk about the faults. Y'all are not perfect people. I'm sorry. And that doesn't mean that I dislike the religion or the people or anything like that, but y'all are not above reproach. I'm sorry. That's just, I don't, and that's the way everybody's been moving. And I just don't believe that to be true. Genocide is happening. I don't care
Yeah,
what
Mhm.
they try and say.
they have power. They have a lot of money.
And I don't know how you know, I guess maybe United States linked up with them because this was a European problem in the beginning, but somehow we've become so linked to them that I find it funny. I find that not funny, haha, but funny like I got my eye on y'all. Y'all look real crazy.
Power,
That
Yeah.
honey.
you got
Power.
politicians pledging to help. No, man, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And BB is up here doing the dirty work. Your people
Mm.
were persecuted by Hitler, and then you turn around and do the exact same thing to other people. Like
Exactly.
I know you
Exactly.
guys are fucking lying right now.
Right. They have become the oppressor.
BB is Hitler. I don't care. You're killing people. Now
Mhm.
I understand if you get attacked, you have to do what you have to do, but you've been killing a lot of innocent people for a long time. Why are you starving people just trying to live
They're trying to get rid of them altogether.
All
all
together
together?
and killing the
And
journalists who talk about it.
oh yeah, they didn't got rid of. Didn't they kill a whole bunch of them here at one
Mhm.
whop?
From Al Jazeera. Yep, they sure did.
Hmm. And so yeah, I don't care. I just if you say anything, they'll say you what is it?
Anti-Semitic.
Huh?
Anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic. And I'm like, no, I just call it like I see it. And
They know that we're not anti-Semitic. They just doing that shit. They just playing with people, playing in
That's a
people's
dog
faces.
whistle. Yeah, it's a dog whistle.
Mhm.
and that's to deflect. It's a definitely big deflection. Now you get attacked. You guys need you do guys do. I can't talk. Should defend yourself. But then y'all have been doing this to the Palestinian people for decades. You don't think oppression breeds radicalism, radicalization? You don't think people who have been suppressed for decades start fighting back? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Nope.
You enslaved black people. You didn't think they was going to try and run away. You don't think they was trying to we was trying to get away from that, our people?
Mhm.
Like get the fuck out of here. Like let's be fucking for real. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
off my soapbox on that. Sorry.
You could have stayed on there, girl, because I agree with every single thing you're saying. And hashtag free Palestine from the river to the sea.
Amen
What
to that.
does anybody want to add anything about I would encourage y'all to watch Scream, but if y'all ain't seen them by now, honey, you probably chill. If you ain't seen them by now, honey, you probably ain't gonna
The
see
first
them.
scream was good. I don't care. That was a time.
The sequel was good. The Scream 2 was good as hell too.
Okay, Scream
Remember?
2. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool. But I think that's where I stopped. That's where I'm done there.
I've watched every single
Every
Scream, and
I
when
know.
baby they could make Scream 56, I'm going to be front and center with my old ass and my cane in that movie theater.
I know that's right.
Well, this next story, y'all, I'm gonna stop calling him the Australian Tay Diggs. I'm talking about Hugh Jackman, by the way. I'm gonna stop calling Hugh Jackman the Australian Tay Diggs because Tay Diggs would never. Tay Diggs is a man of integrity. He will never do any woman like Hugh Jackman did to his ex-wife. But I have this article here from People, and they're talking about how a source said that their relationship is just stronger than ever now. They have such a good foundation. They're so strong. Oh my god.
A good foundation.
That's what they
You
said,
should probably
girl.
start calling him the Brian McKnight of Australia.
Ooh, the Australian Bride McKnight. Thank you, Moon. Well, Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster says going strong 7 months after first stepping out because they have a good foundation, according to a source. Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster's romance is still solid. 7 months after the couple confirmed they were in a relationship by holding hands on their way to dinner in Santa Monica, California, a source tells people that they are going strong and have built a good foundation. The insider adds that Jackman, who's 56, and Foster, who's 50, were spotted holding hands at Canyon Ranch in Lenox, Massachusetts last month, and he was excited to support her one night only performance at nearby Tanglewood Music Center alongside Kelly O'Hara. While the former Music Man co stars are rarely seen out and about together, they were spotted walking hand in hand in New York City back in May, while Jackman was starring in the off Broadway play Sexual Misconduct of the Middle Class. Mm. Following their January 6th dinner date in Santa Monica, which came 2 days after Jackman attended Foster's play Once Upon a Mattress in Los Angeles, she later supported him at the opening night from New York with Love show in New York City on January 24th. The pair's romance came after they both went through divorces. Jackman separate. I don't know who they trying to convince, us or themselves. They're trying to see that. They trying to say they started fucking around with each other after they both were divorced, and
The
we know they
lies
did.
that people like to tell, rewrite
Hmm.
history like they Donald Trump child.
Exactly. And the pair's romance came after they both went through divorces. Jackman separated from his now ex-wife of 27 years, Deborah Lee Furness, in September 2023, while Foster filed for divorce from her now ex-husband, Ted Griffin, in October 2024. Foster and Jackman first became friends in the early 2000s while both planting roots in different Broadway musicals. I'm sure they were.
That's when
Hmm.
they was making their good foundation.
Uh-huh. The pair supported each other's careers for years before finally working together. In 2019, they were announced as the leads in the Broadway revival of The Music Man. However, due to COVID delays, they didn't actually start performing together until 2022. Back in 2022, Foster told people of her bond with Jackman. The best thing that's happened out of this whole thing is that I've met a new friend, uh, which you'd never anticipate. We always joke that after 40, you don't really make new friends, she added. He's a dream and so kind and talented and is even more generous. He's pretty fantastic. We should have known then. We should have
Hmm.
known something was going on then. But anyway, that same year, Jackman admitted on Late Night with Seth Meyers that he was initially intimidated to work with Foster after her years on Broadway, as he watched everything she's done and it's amazing. Foster chimed in to call the entire production of The Music Man so joyful and added that she's having the time of my life playing opposite this guy. I bet y'all are, but it ain't playing the opposite of this guy because y'all having the time of your life in y'all dressing rooms. Allegedly, allegedly. Sucking and fucking each other's dressing rooms,
Well,
honey,
it ain't
while y'all was
alleged
still
no more.
married.
They was, and you can't make it. Ain't no good foundation off of. I don't know why people be trying to lie. Just say y'all fell in love like everybody else. We knew Jen and Brad, not Jen. What's that girl name? And Brad Pitt
Angelina.
was Angelina was hunting. Y'all was in each other's room hunting. How y'all just all of a sudden now separate from the movie and now y'all together? Please, y'all made that little foundation hanky panky before that.
Hmm. What's that old saying go? You lose them how you get them.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Hmm. Well, does anybody want to add anything about her or Hugh Jackman's community Australian penis before we go to the next story?
No, I don't want to speak about the Australian Brightman guy.
Yes. Well, this next story, so I got three more stories left. This next one, so it looks like there's actually going to be some quote unquote justice for Matthew Perry's death. Because we remember not too long ago we talked about one of the doctors that was indicted about his being used and stuff. But I have this TMZ article. Oh, sorry, it's uploading. Hurry up, damn it. Anyway, while that's uploading, let me just start reading the article. So you see where I have this TMZ article. You see where it says, Matthew Perry death, ketamine queen goes down, strikes plea deal with the feds. So this is her. So the ketamine queen, the last of five people charged in Matthew Perry's death, is going away to prison for a long time after agreeing to plead guilty in the federal case. Jasveen Sangha, who earned the street handle from slinging the drug in North Hollywood, struck a plea deal on five criminal charges. According to the feds, she will plead guilty to three counts of ketamine distribution, one count of distributing ketamine resulting in death, and one count of maintaining drug-involved premises. Maintaining a drug-involved premises. In exchange for her guilty plea, the feds are dropping all other charges for which she'd been indicted. Sangha is still facing some serious time in federal prison. She could get up to 65 years, but federal prosecutors will recommend a lighter sentence if she accepts responsibility for the crimes. The feds say Sangha frantically tried to delete messages she sent to a co-defendant regarding Matthew in the days after he died in 2023, including one where she claimed she never dealt directly with the actor, and another where she questioned how long the ketamine would remain in his system. This is the guy we talked about, by the way, if y'all remember, Dr. Salvatore Placencia. But the feds have already secured guilty pleas from four other defendants: Mark Chavez, Eric Fleming, Salvador Placencia, and Kenneth Iwasama, who was Perry's assistant. So Jasmine is going down, honey. It doesn't, I need to confirm this, but it looks like she's getting most of the punishment.
The
It
drug
looks
Sounds
like,
dealer,
about right. Women usually go down, usually take the brunt of punishment.
she had the
yeah,
drugs
and she was
that started
distributing
it.
it.
Yeah. I mean, the others were complicit, but she had the drugs. So,
Yep. Well, that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything about them or Matthew Perry before we go to the next story?
Just that he was my favorite Friends character.
Oh, Al. See. I didn't watch enough of Friends to have a favorite, but that my sister, that's actually one of her favorite shows. And I would, what? I'm not gonna say which sister. Y'all know I got a lot of sisters, so y'all just take a guess which one said it. But she said she actually prefers Friends over Living Single.
Okay, that's
mm,
too far. I watched them all. That's too far. And
You-
mm,
everything
mm.
has a place. Like I do like my white shows. Don't get me wrong, but I love my black shows, and I'm never gonna put something above our people. No. Now, did I chuckle off of Friends? Yes, I did. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did.
Tell her we gonna act like we didn't hear that.
I love you, sis, and because I love you, I won't say which one of you did it. So, well, so this next story, it looks like you see where it says Barcia was talking about a previous story we were doing, and she said he can get a pardon. Well, you will never guess who's asking for a pardon now, honey.
Who
The
now?
the guy who killed Mo 3.
Uh,
Who?
Uh, Mo 3. And y'all see, I
I
have
don't.
this hot new hip hop article. Mo 3's alleged killer wants a pardon from Donald Trump. So, Kewan White, the man accused of allegedly shooting Mo 3 in Dallas back in 2020, says that he's hoping to secure a pardon from President Donald Trump. He discussed the idea during a recent interview from prison with Real Life Productions. Man, I'm trying to pay Donald Trump to get me up out of here so I can get that bond. I need to pay Donald Trump to let me up out this bitch so I can bond out and fight this shit from the world, man, White said. While still waiting to stand trial for the murder of Mo 3, a pretrial hearing has been set for October 9th, according to the Dallas Morning News. The full trial is expected to finally commence in November. Prosecutors allege that Yella Beezy hired Kawan White to carry out a hit on Mo 3. Kawan White's mentioning of Donald Trump comes as the president has already pardoned a number of rappers over the year. They include Lil Wayne and Kodak Black, among others. And most recently, he helped out NBA YoungBoy back in May as the rapper had been charged with felony possession of weapons. And we don't need to really read NBA YoungBoy's statement. We've already talked about that story. But yeah, so that's Kiwan White right here. He believes his next step is to get a pardon from Donald Trump. Now I don't. I guess they what's that saying? Shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars. But baby, you landing in dirt. Donald Trump does not know, will not know who you are. He don't give a shit about your black ass in jail. And are you even? Is he even a rapper? I don't.
I don't. Oh, this is ridiculous.
The audacity, honey. Like you literally killed a man because you were paid to do so, allegedly, and now you want the president to bail your ass, bond your ass out of jail, like or pardon your ass rather.
Can you pardon someone who hasn't been convicted?
I don't think you can. I think they have to be
Bef-
convicted first.
yeah, before he even goes to trial, how he wants a pardon? He hasn't even been convicted. Hasn't had. Yeah, this is. Uh.
Stupid, stupid. Well, does anybody want to add anything about these stupid ass niggas before we go to the last story? Child, well, this last story had me cracking up. Now I know y'all probably have already seen it. Oh, sorry. First, let me give me 1 second. Let me post this Mo3 link. Kiwan White link for those that want to see the article who aren't listening live. Let me post that. All right. Okay, now let's get back to our last story. And our last story that y'all have probably seen already, but cracked me up, is the Justin Bieber impersonator, honey, was able to fool the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas. And
No, I didn't see that.
oh, well, honey, he fooled them so bad that he's actually banned from coming back. So, y'all see, I have this TMZ article. Justin Bieber impersonator gets the boot from Vegas nightclub after tricking staff. And first of all, when I show you this, the dude looks nothing like he just looks like a skinny ass, dirty white dude. He looks nothing like Justin Bieber, by the way. But in fact, y'all can even see it for yourself. Let's just watch this little clip right here. See, to me, that look more like Chet Hanks than Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he doesn't
Well,
look anything like him. How did they get fooled?
exactly. That's my thing. And I guess he's singing that it's really ironic that he's singing is it too late now to say sorry? For you, sir, it is because the wind don't want to hear you nothing from you. Especially so a Justin Bieber impersonator landed in hot water over the weekend after he tricked the staff at a Las Vegas hotel into believing he was actually the Biebs and ended up performing on stage in front of a packed crowd, TMZ has learned. And I actually read in another article that he was able to rack up like a $10,000 bar tab because of this as well. So the bizarre incident went down Saturday night at the Wynn, Las Vegas, after DJ Griffin was told Bieber was in town and wanted to crank out a surprise performance at XS nightclub, according to sources with direct knowledge. Look, this is a closer look at the person, honey. Like I said, to me, that looks nothing like just that looks more like Chet Hanks than Justin Bieber to me. But whatever. Our sources say Griffin thought the Bieber imitator was the real deal and even invited fake Justin into the booth before the impersonator hit the stage in the club to sing several of the hitmaker's songs. The Win staff finally got wind of the scam and put a stop to the imposter and gave him the boot. A rep for Wynn and XS nightclub tells TMZ after an elaborate and multi-step ruse by him and his advanced team, a Justin Bieber impersonator was granted access to the XS stage. As soon as the error was recognized, he was removed from the resort and denied future entry. Looks like for this fake Bieber, it is too late to say sorry.
Wow.
You know what? Let me get a wig and go in and be a Jennifer Hudson impersonator. If his ass can fool people at the win that easily and run up a $10,000 bar tab allegedly and get on stage and perform, baby, I know I would kill her as Jennifer Hudson. Cause
I
we,
guess
we kind of look alike a little bit.
I guess all white people look alike too. To some, I don't know, because how did they? Oh my gosh. I wonder how they finally figured it out.
Uh, And then when you see the DJ, let me just play this video real quick. It's a quick one. The DJ who recognized it. But I hate to say this, and it's going to sound ageist, but maybe that has something to do with his age that he couldn't
Maybe,
recognize immediately. Let's see.
but that wasn't Justin.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Girl got his hands up in the air and everything.
Wait,
He
that was
happy as
insane.
hell.
We gotta talk. That was actually insane. Complete fake. No way. I swear on my life. I literally thought like so, it kind of felt I was like, damn, he like put on a lot of weight since the album dropped.
Put on a lot of weight since the album dropped. You was in that man's face, and you could not tell that that was Justin Bieber, sir. I can't.
Yeah, he's even bigger than Justin. Come on now.
And the thing is, I'm not even a Justin Bieber fan, y'all, at all. I could probably name two Justin Bieber songs at most after all of the quote unquote hits he has made. And even I could immediately tell that was not Justin Bieber. Like,
Right.
that is crazy.
Even I knew that, and I know I'm not a Bieber fan. Period.
That was a hot mess, honey. But, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before we head out and before I go do what, watch the rest of my stories, did any of you have any tea that you want to share? Any tea that I might have missed?
I just wanted to say, you and I would be down there in the at watching the stage, and point and say, "You ain't no Bieber." And on that note,
I know that's right. Well, on that note, honey, thank you all for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you want to make the live show. Again, do not forget to hit up our email, auntie at auntiederrick.com. I'll let y'all know if I get a response from Dr. Bober. But in the meantime, you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
bye everybody.